My sister's ex-husband is moving in with us, and no one saw this coming. When my mom announced it over dinner, my fork literally clattered onto my plate. Liam, the man who made my sister Alara's life a living nightmare for 3 years, the man we all celebrated getting rid of. And now he was going to be sleeping in the guest room, just down the hall from me. My dad just stared at his plate, and Alara, she just pushed her peas around, completely silent. It was the silence that scared me the most. He lost his job, his apartment, he has nowhere else to go, my mom said, refusing to meet my eyes. It felt like a lie, a flimsy, pathetic lie. Liam wasn't someone you took pity on, he was a manipulator, a user. Alara's divorce from him had been brutal, draining her emotionally and financially. So why was she sitting there, letting this happen? When I tried to catch her eye, she just looked away, a hollow expression on her face that I'd never seen before. That night, I couldn't sleep. I heard them moving him in, the low murmur of my dad's voice and Liam's fake, charming laugh echoing through the walls. It made my skin crawl. The next few days were a masterclass in pretending everything was normal. Liam would thank my mom profusely for the food, offer to help my dad with yard work, and completely ignore Alara, who moved through the house like a ghost. But I was watching. I saw things that didn't add up. On Wednesday, I saw Liam slip my dad a thick white envelope in the garage. My dad glanced around nervously before quickly pocketing it. On Friday, I overheard my mom on the phone, talking in a hushed voice about a final transfer and how they had to be careful. The pieces weren't fitting together, but I knew, deep in my gut, that this was about more than just charity. It was something dark. I cornered Alara in the kitchen, demanding an explanation. Why are you letting them do this? Why are you letting HIM back into your life? I whispered, my voice shaking. She finally looked at me, her eyes filled with a terrifying emptiness. You don't understand, she said, her voice barely audible. It's complicated, just leave it alone, please. But I couldn't. I thought about her fiancé, Kaylin, who had died in a tragic hiking accident just 4 months ago. Alara had been devastated, we all were. The timing of all this felt sickeningly wrong. That's when I started digging. I knew Liam was a tech guy, always into shady online dealings. I spent hours locked in my room, going through old emails, social media, anything that connected him to my family. And then I found it. A shared cloud storage account between Alara and Kaylin that she had forgotten to close. Deep in a folder labeled contingencies, I found his life insurance documents. The policy was massive. I scrolled down to the beneficiary section, expecting to see Alara's name. It wasn't there. The primary beneficiaries were my parents. My blood ran cold. The policy had a specific clause. If the primary partner was in any way implicated or under investigation surrounding the death, the payout would default to the next of kin. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The hushed phone calls, the envelope of cash, Liam moving in. It wasn't charity, it was a payoff. They had found a way to contest Alara's claim, maybe by planting some kind of fake evidence, forcing the insurance company to pay them instead. And Liam was their instrument, their dirty little secret, living under our roof on his cut of the blood money. Kaylin's death wasn't an accident. That night, I waited until everyone was at the dinner table, Mom, Dad, Alara, and Liam, playing Happy Family. I walked in and placed a printed copy of the insurance policy in the center of the table. 4 sets of eyes shot up to look at me. The silence was absolute, thick with guilt and horror. My mom's face went pale. My dad's hand trembled, but it was Alara who broke. A single tear rolled down her cheek as she looked from the paper to our parents, a look of utter betrayal shattering her empty facade. She didn't know the details, but she knew they had done something terrible. I didn't say a word. I just packed a bag and walked out the front door, leaving them to drown in the mess they had made. Some families are bound by love, mine was bound by a secret, and I wasn't going to be another one of their victims.